Hi and welcome to everybody. Today we're gonna see what's the difference between Amazon S3 and Amazon Cloudfront. So we will discover when to use one option versus the other. So what is AWS S3? S3 is like storage bucket. So a storage bucket, you can put file in there. For example, your images, your videos, and so on, and it stores them in the cloud. So what does it mean? You pay based on the gigabytes of files you use on Amazon and on the bandwidth used to upload and download the content within the bucket. So you can access the buckets also over the HTTP, over the web. And that's pretty much it. You pay based on also the transfer that happen between the client and the bucket. So every time somebody downloads a file, you will pay a fee. It's a very small fee, so you usually don't have to worry until you are a very big company or service or app. Okay, and this is Amazon S3. So what is Amazon Cloudfront? Amazon Cloudfront is a CDN, content delivery network, and it's usually a middleware between your resources and the client. So, like I'm drawing right now, okay, so I've put some arrows that indicates whether the data is coming from and going to. So what happens? When the client asks for like a URL on your domain, it connects with Amazon Cloudfront. Amazon Cloudfront then, based on the settings of the Cloudfront instance, it will decide what resource to access. So in this case, we have just one resource, a bucket behind the Cloudfront. And so Cloudfront access the data on S3, get the data on the edge. Edges are called single points present on the various region, because as you know, Amazon S3 is when you set up a bucket, you have to choose a region. So for example, USA or Europe or France or whatever. France of course is in Europe. And once you decide where the bucket is, it will be there forever. You can transfer data to multiple buckets. Yes, you can create replicas of data and pay them based on how many replicas do you want. But once you choose where your bucket is, it will stay there. So Cloudfront, on the other side, it's a more distributed content delivery network. So each region will have a Cloudfront available for you, and it will ask the resource from the original region where the resource is coming from, and it will store, if you want, a cache on the edge. So on the next request for the same file, probably you, like the client, open a website and it loaded an image on your bucket. So the client asks Cloudfront for the image. Cloudfront get the image from S3, cache it on the edge, and it answers back to the client. What happens when another client asks for the same image? Cloudfront doesn't have to ask the bucket what is this image, because it has already it knows already, and it has downloaded that. So it only accesses from there and the answer directly. So as you can see, this is pretty convenient when you have a globally distributed app or you want a pretty fast cache between your S3 and your client. Obviously, it's always better to put a CloudFront distribution in front of your bucket because you have more flexibilities. For example, you can have multiple distributions pointing to the same bucket, or you can have multiple resources behind the same bucket. Let's see. Okay. For example, you can have also a server, an EC2 instance behind it. And so you are more flexibility. And that's pretty much it. So Amazon S3 is used to store files in the cloud, in the Amazon cloud, and CloudFront is a content delivery network. So it's a configurable content delivery network where you can set various rules based on the resource you're accessing, from what region you can access them. So for example, you want to limit some videos and files and content available on the S3 only for North America or Canada. So you can configure CloudFront in order to do that. It speeds up the delivery of your content across the network, and it's pretty useful. Amazon S3 on the other hand is just a simple, you can imagine that as a bucket of things and nothing more. And that's it. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I will gladly answer to you. And see you in the next video. Bye.